From Bustleton to Broome, this is Spirit Drive.
Thanks to Reed's Prospecting Supplies. Matt can't help you with gold prospecting or treasure hunting, but Reed's can. Head to reedsprospecting.com.au.
Right across Western Australia, this is Spirit Drive. Matt Layton with you. Thanks again for your company. Oh, and thank you, Western Australia, because without your generosity and support, Telethon would not have made another massive milestone record, $36.4 million. And one person right now who knows a thing or two about Telethon and how special it is here in Western Australia, the very lovely Susannah Carr. She joins me right now in the studio. Good afternoon.
Matt, thank you. We sure hit the heights yesterday, didn't we?
Well, like I said, we're going in uncharted territory because we hit, last year's total before the 6 o'clock news. We're thinking there's still 2.5 or so hours to go. What's going to happen?
I know, it was astonishing. And when I say we hit the heights, I don't mean just we as in the media, the Channel 7. We, the people of Western Australia, totally hit the heights. Yes, we were shocked at 7 minutes to 6 when we passed last year's, because last year we said, this is so huge. How are we going to top this next year? Little did we know that a lot of people had been working in the background to shore up some pretty nice deals with people who can really help us. To get 10 million more is just astonishing. And I was talking to Jonathan Karapetis, the head of the Telethon Kids Institute. He's so happy because this just makes his life so much easier. It means that they can attract some worldwide researchers to their institute, which has a worldwide reputation already. Yeah. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Getting kids well and making sure that kids don't get sick and really trying to obliterate lots of childhood diseases. And we're also happy to be part of it. It was huge yesterday. And I must say, when Daryl Braithwaite sang Horses at the end, I have never seen the convention centre take off like
Everyone,
that.
young and old, they know every single word. I'm guilty as well.
Everybody, I sang it. Everybody was sitting there singing it with him, and I had no idea. And it was interesting because when we looked at who was coming, we said, these are great people. We know who they are because we're of a certain generation. Yeah. Are the young people going to know? Of course they did. They knew these songs, and they're transgenerational.
Of course.
So the entertainment was huge. Everybody had a great time. The atmosphere was incredible.
Yeah, it's a rock show every single year at the Perth Convention Exhibition Centre. The generosity started basically from woe to go. The very beginning we saw Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull give that amazing donation as well. And then we saw Andrew Forrest also matching every single dollar until about 10:30.
Yeah, that was incredible. So we got millions there, and the state government put in $2 million towards specific research, which is fantastic. Yeah. And it just kept going from better to better to better. It was so exciting. And at the end of it, Basil was talking, and Baz was a little bit nervous. I don't see Basil nervous very often. Yeah. But it had just gone into uncharted territory. And I think none of us anticipated that. Kerry obviously Kerry Stokes had a bit of an idea of where it was going, but he hadn't told the rest of us, and so for all of us, the spontaneity of the excitement was there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, 26 or so hours of live television. We love it every single year here in Western Australia. Do you have one particular highlight? I know you raised Daryl Braithwaite, but any others throughout that whole weekend?
Well, there've been some, through the weekend, yes. Ross Wilson for me. Because, I mean, this goes back quite a few years, but when I was at university, I went to a concert with Daddy Cool, and Ross Wilson headed Daddy Cool, and it was at the Octagon Theatre, and I saw them when I was 18. So I then saw him again, and it was just, his voice, it hasn't changed, his act is amazing. And at the Telethon Ball, which I just snuck into for a moment, he did a half-hour set, though. The place was pumping. Everybody was on the dance floor. And it just goes to show those guys from the 70s really know how to entertain. They really do, the 70s and 80s. Yeah. And none of them have lost it. That's the amazing thing. They might look a little bit older, but the voices are great and the songs stand the test of time. Yeah.
We love the appeal of Telethon, even when the small donations from $5 to 50 to, as we mentioned, 50,000 and onwards too.
And I got to read a really nice donation at the end that came from a family of 4 kids, and one of the kids had been diagnosed with leukemia only a few weeks ago. Their whole family life has been turned upside down. But in the centre of that, they put their pocket money together, they raised money, and they sent that in. to help other kids,
Yeah.
even though they're going through a very personal situation at the moment. And we see those stories time after time. You know, the number of telethon kids who are there to represent
Yeah, that was amazing.
other sick kids, they go out and raise money as well. So, yeah, it just is everywhere.
Hat off as well to all the people at Channel 7 and all the stars that came from over east. I remember Candace Dixon, probably one of the hardest working ones. She was running the phone room right across overnight. I joined her for a little while as well. And then she was back, you know, bright as bubbly as well on the panel and heading out to the hospital. It's, you know, it really... You know, we're not getting paid for it. It's just, you know, all the generosity. It's what we want to do to make it such a special event.
And so many of them say, please invite me back again because they have such a great time. They don't mind the fact that they don't sleep much that weekend. They grab a little nap wherever they can.
Yeah.
But it also gets to showcase their personalities too. So you get to see what great people they are. Either you see them as a character in a soap or you see them as a character in, say, a quiz show or something like that. Underneath it all, they're the most amazing people, all of them, and they just give of their time dramatically.
Yeah, $36.4 million, the final total. It makes me wonder what's going to happen on the 51st telethon. I'm sure the planning has well and truly begun, hasn't it?
I think it started the 1 second after we finished last night. Yeah.
We'll get to see the full recap, of course, tonight on 7 News, right across this great state at 6 o'clock.
You will.
A legend of telethon right here in the Spirit Drive studio. Susannah Carr, thanks again for joining us.
Matt, it's a pleasure.
We'll be back very soon. Spirit Drive across WA.